Welcome to another tutorial by Loom and Looney. Today is going to be a tutorial on my Trudy Fruity bracelet. This bracelet was made with rainbow loom bands, white, red violet jelly, purple jelly, and turquoise jelly. The version that we're going to be making today will be in black, electric blue glow, and electric purple glow. Supplies you will need are your monster tail, your hook, and your C-clip. So the first thing that you're going to do is make sure that your red dot is on the left hand side of your monster tail. And you're going to place your black bands in a triangle on both ends. Like so. And then you're going to want to loop each corner into a circle. Like so. That one came off. Put it back on. Loop it into a circle. Loop that corner into a circle. And loop this corner into a circle. Let me do that again. Let's put this band back on. And loop the corners into a circle. Bands want to be difficult this morning. Like so. Okay. The next thing you're going to do is place whatever color band you chose, in my case electric blue, and an X from corner to corner. These do not have to be twisted into a figure 8. Like so. And then you're going to loop those black bands, the bottom bands, up and over on all 4 corners. Up and over. Up and over. Then you're going to lay another border band, whatever color you chose, in my case black. You're going to lay it in a figure 8 over the middle posts. Like so. Push those down. Going to go back and lay your border bands, again in a triangle. No more need for twisting on both ends. And you're just going to loop the bottom bands up and over. Oops, sorry, like that. Loop those up and over. This time we're going to lay our electric purple and an X from corner to corner. And then we're going to loop those bottom bands up and over. The band is twisted. And then we're going to lay our black band in the middle. And we're going to loop that band up and over. We'll lay our triangle bands again on the ends. we're going to loop those bands and bands up and over. My camera keeps wanting to slide. Let me see if I can fix that. I'm not sure why it wants to keep doing that. Okay, back to our electric blue. Put that in an X. And loop those bands up and over. Up and over. Up and over. And then our middle black band. And we're going to loop that up and over. And push those down. See if I can fix this camera. It keeps wanting to slide. Maybe that will be better. Okay. Now we're going to lay our triangle bands again. Loop those bottom bands up and over, up and over, up and over, and lay our electric purple in an X corner to corner. And then we're going to loop those bottom bands up and over. Up and over, up and over, and that middle band, and loop those up and over, up and over, and push that down. And then we're going to lay our triangle bands again. And loop those bottom bands up and over. Up and over. Up and over. And back to our electric blue. And lay those in an X. And just loop those bottom bands up and over. And our middle band. And then lay that and loop those bottom bands up and over. And then we're going to lay our end triangle bands again. And we're going to loop those bottom bands up and over. Up and over. Up and over. Back to our electric purple. Laying those bands in an X from corner to corner. And looping those bottom bands up and over. And then laying that middle band. And looping those bottom bands up and over. And then again laying our triangle bands on the ends. and looping those bottom bands up and over, up and over, up and over, up and over. Back to our electric blue, laying those bands in an X and looping those bottom bands up and over, up and over. Laying our middle band and looping those bottom bands up and over, up and over. Laying our end triangle bands again and looping those bottom bands up. Oops, we lost it. Put it back on. Looping those bottom bands up and over, up and over, up and over, up and over, up and over. And back to our electric purple, putting those bands in an X from corner to corner and looping those bottom bands up and over, up and over, and laying our middle band across the middle and looping the bottom bands up and over. Do a couple more layers with you and then I'll show you how to close it off. This is a simple pattern to follow. Laying those end triangle bands again. Looping those bottom bands up and over. Up and over. Up and over, up and over. Back to our electric blue, laying those bands in an X, corner to corner. Taking those bottom bands and looping them up and over, up and over. Bottom bands up and over, and then laying our middle band across the middle post pegs and looping them bottom bands up and over, pushing them down, laying our end triangle bands again, and looping those bottom bands up and over. Back to our electric purple, laying those bands in an X from corner to corner. And looping those bottom bands up and over. And laying that middle band across. And looping those bottom bands up and over, up and over. Last layer I'm going to do with you, we're going to lay those triangle bands. Going to go slowly. Loop those bottom bands up and over. Loop the bottom bands up and over. Up and over. Loop those bottom bands up and over. Up and over. Up and over. Back to our electric blue. Laying those bands corner to corner. Looping those bottom bands up and over, up and over, bottom bands up and over, up and over, and then laying that middle band across and looping those bottom bands up and over, up and over. If you're having problems following the pattern, please rewind the video and pay attention to the previous instructions. Right now I'm going to show you how to close off the bracelet. Now you're going to lay your triangle bands as we have before in the previous layers. And you're going to loop those bands out, looping the bottom bands up and over like we've done before. And you see, after you lay those triangle bands and you loop them out, all of your bands that are on your loom right now are black. That's what you want. So you're going to take the bands on the end pegs and you're going to move them to the adjacent pegs, like so. Then you're going to loop the bottom bands on those pegs up and over, up and over. Then you're going to take the bands on the bottom pegs and move them across to the top pegs, carefully not to lose any of your work, like so. Turn your loom around, and you're going to take the bands on the bottoms of those pegs and loop those up over, like so. Then you're going to take the bands that are on the end two pegs and transfer those over to the middle peg. And then you can take your C-clip and attach them like so. And then you'll have your finished bracelet. And that's how you make the Trudy Fruity bracelet. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Please hit a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. There will be more tutorials to follow with the rainbow loom itself, the monster tail for sure. And please stay tuned for more videos. Thanks.